A prosperous yet volatile aura resides within the Milsim city of Artsakh. A newly formed police force, led by a pro-NATO chief, has fueled more resentment between the citizens and NATO forces, whom they view as foreign occupiers. In search of a different type of immersion are the not too elite but fun-loving Azerbaijan Interior Guard. What you are about to watch is interrogation footage taken by the Interior Guard. Each of these players were plucked from their normal insurgency gameplay and asked to answer questions by the Inspector General. Consent was granted by all participants, however, they had no idea what they were in for. What methods did you use to find potential suspects? We started with people who came into government buildings for their BB rations. This was the main source of BB distribution to citizens. 60mm was granted access to the Interior Guard's database, or as they called it, database. In it, we found that only 1/4 of the civilian population came in to receive their game-legal BBs. It is presumed that the other 3/4 brought in or obtained BBs illegally. Why the string of airsoft questions? We needed to gather opinion on these topics that were considered neutral, since a lot of these rules did not exist within the current immersion. This also threw them off as to what our real motives were for questioning. During their interrogations, participants were asked a set of controversial and not so controversial airsoft questions.
Player 1 turns a corner and encounters enemy Player 2. Player 1 says to Player 2, bang bang. Player 2 responds with parlay. Who is correct?
Player 1 who says bang bang.
I would assume with honor, parlay.
As a union man, I'd say the parlay. Having solidarity and working diplomatically is the winning move.
First save, first goal. I don't know, I'm kind of split on the decision.
Neither party, whoever shoot first.
Depending on the rules of the field, if they do parlay or they do the bang bang. The bang bang gun needs to be pointed at the person unless they said bang bang at the same time. So neither.
I feel like the guy that shout bang bang is harder. Like, what the f is a parlay? I feel like he wins. I don't know what parlay means though.
Neither. One of them should shoot a BB at the other.
Player 1 turns a corner and engages Player 2. Player 1 shoots a tooth out of Player 2. Who is at fault?
Player 2. If you care about teeth, you wear something to protect teeth.
I believe the player would have signed away this right to teeth once they decide to play with BBs.
Player 2, face mask and lower face mask is the responsibility of the wearer.
I gotta still with player 1, because that's way hard. He shot a guy in the face.
Ooh, that's a good one. I think player 2 because if they're in a building, they're taking their teeth into their own hands, and if they didn't want to get their tooth shot out, they should have worn a face mask.
It is player 2 who did not take proper precautions. I have a follow-up question if you could elaborate on that last one.
Of course.
Were the requirements for the minimum engagement distance met?
There are no minimum engagement distances in this scenario.
Fair enough.
Does that change your answer?
It does not.
Can you name 3 airsoft companies that you are familiar with?
Milsim West, Milsim West and Milsim West.
Umbrella Armory, yes, they have store here in town. Maple Leaf like syrup.
Well, I know we have representative workers at evic.com, your #1 airsoft retailer in the world.
I see.
LCT?
Simar, Arcturus, and H&K?
E-Bike, G&G. Oh no, I'm spacing. This is intimidating now. H&K.
You are a player and you have been hit. However, the hit is in a spot that you cannot feel. Would you rather be shot multiple times in order for you to understand that you have been hit, or would you rather be labeled a cheater?
I would rather take it in honor. If you are afraid that I am not feeling, shoot my head.
I would say I'd rather take multiple hits. If you can't feel it, you can't feel it. You can't really make a choice in that situation.
I would never allow myself to be labeled a cheater.
You would be accepting of the multiple shots to your person.
Please.
There is 0 stake at PubSoft. So if I'm hit, I take the hit and I don't worry about the crybabies. If they say I'm hit, I'm hit.
Multiple hits always. Because people forget to understand when we wear gear, if you hit someone once and they don't call it, shoot them a few more times. I'd rather be overshot than be labeled a cheater.
Nah, dog. The more times I get shot, that's way harder. Cheater's such a dirty word, dog. I don't like it. It feels weird. Let me get them scars.
I would rather be shot to the point where I knew it. If it's a genuine, like, I didn't feel it or hear it, yeah, the guy should shoot me in the arm or the head or whatever and actually make sure that I feel it. I'd rather get shot where I can feel it and then I can absolutely call down, "Ah, I've been shot."
What was the purpose of your mission in Artsakh? Since the arrival of the NATO invaders, our city had been overrun with foreigners trying to play both sides of the conflict. It was highly imperative to find all foreign fighters in Azerbaijan fighting against our forces. If you could please give us some insight into the interviewees we have footage of, starting with Mr. Zapat Chokolov. Ah yes, Mr. Chokolov. He proved himself to be a loyal nationalist. Next we have a Kirill Popov. A thorough background check of Mr. Popov verified that he had no dealings whatsoever with any foreign nationals.
I don't understand total concept of questions. I was expecting something more violent, but this'll do. You know, it's a 60-watt bulb. You get same output with 20.
An American union worker was also taken in. Mr. Big Joe provided us with what seemed to be a credible lead of 3 foreigners within the Gazprom group. This information from Big Joe was compelling because a year earlier, an assassination attempt was made on the president's life at a Gazprom groundbreaking event.
Big Joe, do you have any other American associates here with you in Artsakh?
I believe there may be 3 Americans that are contracted with the Gazprom group. I don't know names, I just know that they are Americans. They were walking around talking to us last night.
I see.
I don't know.
Gazprom claims to be a Russian company.
That's all I know. I heard American accents. Yeah, there's 3 guys at the Gazprom. That's all I know, that they're sounded American. We don't have much interaction with them. I don't really know any of their names.
Do you believe Gazprom to be involved in the importation of foreign fighters? I have no comment on this. However, I assure you, I will uncover any secrets Gazprom may be hiding, one way or another. Of those 3 identities, only footage of a Seaman Sukmyov was found. To ensure Mr. Sukmyov's cooperation, our unit staged a very compelling conversation outside of Mr. Sukmyov's interview room.
I will be right with you, Mr. Sukmyov. Please do not try to move quickly. Is this the man who refuses to answer the questions?
Yes.
So give me one reason why I should not blow your head off right now for not answering the question.
You grabbed me off the street. You put a blindfold on me, dragged me up those stairs, put me down
Stop
the
right
chair.
there.
I wonder
Stop
who
right
that
there.
could be.
That is not a good. You know what I'm going to do for you, my friend? Okay, go ahead and take this away. All right. Let's go. Pardon that, Mr. Sukmyov. Do you know a Mr. Big Joe who works at the Orange?
I'm familiar with him, yes.
How long have you been in Azerbaijan?
But we've been developing this gasoline project for maybe 3 months.
3 months only?
What?
I do not like that answer because an assassination attempt, if you will, was made on our dear president during a Gazprom event.
Our dealings are strictly economical in origin and have no politics attached.
Or are you here to arm terrorists against the people of Artsakh?
Our goal as a company is to provide...
Answer the question, Mr. Sukmyov. I'm sure you're aware of what happens when you do not answer the questions.
No race is won without a loser.
Eventually, Mr. Sukmyov provided us with a name.
Stevens.
Where can we find Mr. Stevens?
What in it from me?
You get to live.
I'll take that.
This Mr. Stevinsky was a Russian soldier. Now, it is our understanding that there are a lot of political ties with the Federation and your government. After speaking with other government agencies, Mr. Stevinsky's loyalty was verified.
What Americans?
Well, that's what we are trying to ascertain, Mr. Stevens. What Americans have you been in collusion with?
Our primary responsibilities is the Russian citizens and the Russian infrastructure and the reason. The rightful president was ousted by pro-NATO conspiracies.
Our agencies then shared information regarding the known terrorist Mr. Stevinsky named during the interview. A pictured identity within our database matched with a foreigner that had come into the country recently through a media visa.
Sit straight down. There'll be a chair eventually. Knees together, please.
God. I am Holden D. Hood.
Welcome, Mr. Holden.
Ah, that's so bright. Oh my God. After 2008, when Four Loko came out, and I was just like,
Mr. Holden, I am simply asking you what you are doing here. What
Oh,
is your
man.
occupation in
Okay. I work the radio. I'm the new media. Radio is here, and TV is dead.
You are a part of the Western propaganda machine.
Nah, dog. I haven't talked to anybody from. What the f? Wait, what the f is a West?
Mr. Holden, I will remind you once
Oh,
more.
Jesus.
If you refer to me as dog,
I'm sorry, Inspector General, sir. Inspector
we are
General,
going
sir.
to have problems.
Okay, I don't want problems.
Mr. Holden was more chatty than expected.
If you like windmills, I can stop. I haven't said nothing about.
Stop.
After some time of Mr. Holden's outbursts, he eventually gave us the name of another foreign associate.
I don't have an American, but he's a foreigner. He might be faking it, but I think it's like from Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan, like one of the ones near us. His name is Fedislav.
Is he here in Artsakh today?
Yeah, I paid him to be here. He has clout on Instagram.
Where can we find Mr. Fedislav?
We're supposed to do a little radio thing before the open mic night for the Orange.
Don't move, do not move. Please do not move so much.
Apologies.
Mr. Fetislav, you are a hard man to make an appointment with.
We've been at the radio station all day. I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you aware of America's newest and most popular sport? The sport of airsoft.
I am, as a matter of fact. We were even giving away airsoft guns as prizes for our radio station contest.
Giving away 3 weapons.
Totally
Through
unregistered.
your radio show.
They came with ammo too.
I see. And ammunition. You are arming terrorists.
We armed no
To
terrorists.
fight against Artsakh.
I take issue with that. We were arming no terrorists, and besides, they were only springers. But anyways, he paid me 10,000 USD to fly out, and I gotta be honest.
Now, does that 10,000 also cover your expenses to arm foreign nationals to fight against Artsakh officials?
I have never armed a foreign national.
You have already
except
agreed
maybe.
that you have been giving away weapons and ammunition to foreigners here in Artsakh.
You're not wrong, but
So
you know, I didn't know
you
that.
are a foreign national here to arm the terrorist organizations.
I want to talk to my lawyer. Do I have a lawyer?
Not
Is there
in
any?
Artsakh, you do
Is there
not.
any? Well, perhaps we can settle this another way.
How many weapons have you given away to the terrorists?
2 Springer pistols and approximately 20 rounds of ammunition each.
Those 20 rounds can do a lot of damage. That is quite possibly 20 hits.
In the right hands, I suppose, but these people, believe me, they did not look like militants.
Militants, Mr. Fetislav, come in many forms, shapes, and sizes. Are you familiar with the book Sun Tzu?
Yes, Art of War. I
Now,
am.
in the art of war, is not all warfare deception?
All warfare.
Perhaps you may have been deceived by these characters, Mr. Fetislav.
I admit I may have been deceived, and for that, perhaps I am, in some small way, liable for the distribution of these firearms. But I should point out, I should point out in my defense, the guns.
I will ask the questions here, Mr. Fetislav. Give us the names of the individuals that you have provided arms and munitions for.
Bovo, the mobile salesman. But I would like to point out that the guns were provided by Holden D. Hood.
The name of the gentleman again.
I believe it was his brother, Chovo.
Where might we find Bovo and Chovo?
North side of town, I think next to the coffee shop. I wasn't entirely sure. Like I said, it's a mobile business.
Of course, when the location described by Mr. Fetislav was reconnoitered, no one was there.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Fetislav. As
Listen.
short as it may be becoming.
Listen. What can I...
Guards.
What can we... Look. There's no guns in here, but what can we do to make this more amenable so you let me out of here alive?
Mr. Fetislav, we will take this from you. Guards, please take Mr. Fetislav to the back.
Oh, God.
It would seem that your mission was accomplished then. Not quite. The capture of only 2 foreign fighters is nothing compared to the greater scale of the threat. Besides, there are always bigger fish to be caught. Documents obtained by 60mm show that Mr. Fetty and Mr. Holden were taken to an undisclosed detention center. Within these documents, it also shows that they have escaped and are still at large. Until the next immersion, I'm Walter Cronkright, signing off.
Gazprom, all the way from the lovely land of Russia, is proud to announce the groundbreaking ceremony for the Trans-Artsakh pipeline. That's right.